And Ian Von Berg, unfortunately, is stressed due to end of financial year. And Nick is the IT guy, so he's totally stressed with someone else's IT. So unfortunately, unless someone in the audience has a tech thing they want to share, like a gadget of some kind. Weird goggles. Come on, Margaret. A round of applause, please. I did see you using them before, so do you want me to hold the microphone while you demo? Because I don't want to wear them.
Being 25 years in sales and marketing, have been always looking for the latest and greatest marketing tool to sell your products. So this is probably the latest, and for real estate agents, it will replace the home openings, I believe. So
Rebecca, are you looking at this? Is Michelle Skeen still here?
Basically, what you do is you just put your phone in, and then you just set it. Okay. All right. I'm not very good.
Because otherwise,
you click your phone in, and then you set the program up. Okay.
You look fabulous.
Beautiful.
Then re-insert it to use near VR.
Sorry,
I was just going to say, don't fall off the stage.
Yeah, the phone is talking to me.
So what does it do?
It gives you a 3D virtual tour. You can actually walk through a house. It gives you the feel of it. You are in the house. It gives you a realistic feel of walking through the house. Actually, that will save you time. We did a lot of research. We have spoken to a lot of families, and they said, oh, we need something, because if we have got little children, we don't want to waste time and just, go to home openings and just,
So you wear the goggles to experience it, or you wear the goggles to film it?
No, you will experience it, because I create these tours. I create these 3D virtual tours.
I think everyone wants to have a go of this later. What do you reckon?
It's virtual reality tours. I create a VR file. It's called a VR file, which I put on a file on your phone or on a website. I can put it on a website. And you basically, if you have got goggles and a phone, you just put your phone in, go into the file, and and you can set it up and walk through the house.
Can you thank Margaret, one of our newest members? So thank you. So do a bit of show and tell later, I think. And now, dun, 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 the business tip. So the business tip used to be done by me for about 2 years, and then I came up with a fantastic idea, and I just need to check in publicly with Fran if she wants a handheld microphone or the lapel microphone. Entirely up to you, honey. If you want the lapel, you just need to go talk to Keith now while I'm rabbiting on up here. So the business tip used to be done by me, but then I had the brainwave of going, why should I be doing it when we have a room full of experts being our members? So that's why we now have an infinity level membership. It's not just about the business tip. There's all kinds of different things you can do at an infinity level. And if you don't like public speaking, there's a multitude of other things you can do other than public speaking. So that's why we now have certain members coming to do a business tip. And I'm delighted to invite Fran Maunton, who has expertise in Feng Shui, but she's kind of broadened it, shall we say. So I'm not going to steal her thunder, but she's going to share a little bit about her new development, which is directing the winds of change. So please make Fran Maunton welcome. I don't need that. No, I don't need that.
Okay, thank you, Fleur, for the opportunity, and an interesting. The topic of what I'll be speaking about tonight is really in connection with hosting events. If you are asked to be a speaker at an event, then there's a lot of things that you can control, like finding the best event manager in the world to run the event that you're speaking at. And you can control sometimes when things are your topics, of course, because that's your content, but there are lots of things that you can't control. So in terms of feng shui and energy management, that's what I'm talking about tonight, in the things that you can do that are in your control to make sure that the person that you bring to the stage is the best that you can be. And this will be really helpful if I have a picture of what's coming next. So it's important that Fleur actually brought up a really good point in in the blog that I wrote about tonight. Was there's lots of things that are completely out of your control, like the weather and how that affects you. So the concept here is work on all of your spaces, whether they be the places that you live or the places that you work or the spaces within you, so that you are clutter free. And then you're bringing, you're leaving your garbage behind, and it doesn't matter then so much if the weather is not how you want it to be, or there's only 30 people arriving when you're expecting 200, because you're energetically building yourself up so that you can manage those blows without being thrown off course. So in terms of clutter clearing, having a tidy desk compared to one that's organised, or a workspace, you don't need me to tell you that you can work better in a cleared space than in this jumbled mess. But that is certainly a good place to start, so that you're organised and you know where you're coming from. And clearing those spaces just creates space for possibilities. In terms of feng shui, what I'm suggesting to you is that if you manage the energy blueprint of your property, in the time we've got tonight, I can't tell you exactly how to do that, but I can tell you in principle what happens, the reason why you do it, and what we're actually doing in the process, and what the end result of that is. We are completely lost that next bit of information. Two principles of feng shui. One is we live in a vibrating universe, and the other is the principles of yin and yang, in that there is always positive and there's always negative. The actual process and end result for feng shui is working on finding where negative energy is and putting things in place that will minimise the negative energy. And I clicked that because I really cleverly formatted this so that negative energy would just get smaller and smaller. But the point is that the negative energy is erratic and is very heavy. So finding where it is, putting things in place that will minimise that, has less effect on you. Positive energy is very even and flows much more lightly and freely. So working on minimising negative energy, if you do no more than that, then things will improve for you. But of course there are many things that you can do to enhance positive energy as well. It's really worthwhile tapping into the exact energy of the year in terms of feng shui, so that you know where there is positive energy, where there's negative energy, things that you should be looking out for. And the reason that you'll be doing that, of course, is in your home, so that you can live in that space and not be influenced by those things. But in terms of the venue, understanding this, if you have the opportunity to determine the direction in the room where you can be speaking from, or if you're setting up your business things, then you're making sure that you're not putting your things into an area that is afflicted with a difficulty for the year. So that's all quite a complicated process, but having that information is just another way of managing the space in the venue that you're going to, where you don't actually have control over the energy that's there. In terms of your personal horoscope, it's really helpful to know who you are, and knowing what your energy is in terms of the 5 elements and what your destiny is. So knowing who you are, knowing where you are in your life cycle. So are you in a time where your prevailing energy of your life cycle is supporting you, or is it presenting you with challenges and obstacles? And also know what you need. That is a bit low, isn't it? It's hard to see from the phone. So know what you need also. So within the understanding your horoscope within the 4 pillars of destiny and gives you an understanding of who you are in terms of the 5 elements, what elements support you and which ones don't, and also identifying what elements will support your ability to attract wealth or your ability to improve your sense of status. So in considering your speaking opportunity, what are the reasons that you're doing it for? Is it for wealth, or is it for increasing your expert status? And then having all of this kind of information is just another layer of support that you can offer in managing the energy of a space where you have no control. Master all of your intelligences. So this is understanding and mastering the energy of your head, your heart and your gut. Of course, preparation is the key. So what I'm suggesting is that for several days before your event that you practice your content, would be a good start. Get good and good quality sleep. Make sure that you're hydrated, and with sexy water might be the best choice in those cases. Make sure that you're eating, that you're providing your body with nutritious food, and in particular, providing your body with light and leafy green food that supports all of your body functions, but particularly your brain functions, so that it's uncluttered and it will support your ability to tune into your intuition. Practicing mindfulness as a daily habit is something I think everybody should do, and the purpose of that is, not the purpose of that, but within that daily practice, initiate a physical response. So as you're spending your time in mindfulness, activate some kind of physical response, even if it's just holding your fingers together while you do that, so that when you're in the moment, you can, by your muscle memory and your brain memory, will know that when I do this, then body, this is your instruction to just relax, and brain, this is your instruction to relax and remember everything that you're supposed to be saying. Just not working quite so well tonight, but it is getting there. So that just requires practice. Of course, it's not something you can learn last week and do today. And I've just got this little bit of information about, which you might find interesting, in a process that can help support mindfulness. This is some spider webs that were, what do spider webs do? They're woven, aren't they? This is for 1960s research, and these spiders have been fed a variety of things, and this is how their webs have turned out. And you'll notice that the last one was caffeine is actually the worst. What's important about this is that this is an instinctive, intuitive skill that the spider has. It can't live without doing this, it just knows how to do it. And here are things, certainly, hallucinogenic drugs. We're not going to cross those too often in our lives, but caffeine is very prevalent in our life. Caffeine and sugar and all of those kinds of things really does impact the clutter that's in your head. So making sure that you stay away from those things so that you stay in tune with what you need to be doing when you are speaking. And finally, on to ancient wisdoms of flower essences and essential oils. You can use those, of course, in your spaces as in your homes, but you can also be using them on yourselves. Flower essences will help to soothe the soul and manage emotional issues at a really subtle and energetic level. And essential oils will access your through your limbic system in your brain, so it helps you manage your emotions. And you can find any number of essential oils that will help you get activated, get sleepy, get in tune with what you're doing, or clear your brain, clear whatever might need to be cleared. So there's always, wrong way. Lots of things that you can do there for you and your home. And also at the venue, then you're going into a place where you don't know, so you can be having that, either diffusing the oils in the venue to create the atmosphere for everyone, or just holding it for your own personal use. The other thing, of course, is sound will alter the vibration of a place. So at the venue, you might not want to run around with a Tibetan bell to change the vibration of the place, but you can use music to be lifting, motivating yourself, or geeing up the crowd, or just creating the atmosphere that you want. So Albert Einstein says that everything is energy, and that's all there is to it. If you match the frequency of the reality that you want, you cannot help but to get that reality. It can be no other way. This is not philosophy, this is physics. What I'm suggesting to you, this is supposed to come up once at a time, is that understanding the energies of heaven, earth and man, which is the first principle of feng shui, making sure that the space that you live and work in is cleared and harmonised, making sure that your body and your mind and your heart is cleared and uncluttered and harmonised, understanding the influences of the dimension of space that you can't see, and tapping into all of those other things like essential oils and flower essences and sounds, is just giving you several layers of balance and harmony in your regular working space, so that when you go to somewhere that you're not familiar with, or you're going to a place when the weather's crazy or the people don't turn up, or it's a chaotic energy in a venue, this just gives you, if any of those things happen and just tap you offline, then you've already got several layers of energetic protection to make sure that you are bringing the best of who you can be to the stage. And that's the last one. And the really good news for this is that you don't actually have to be an event speaker to make a decision to tap into all of this kind of thing, because all of us are going to be working and going somewhere. All of us are in a world that provides, that has, stuff happens to us, and we don't have to go out to work, go to places that are unfamiliar. So this is fabulous and good information for everybody. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Fran. Fran will be very impressed that I decluttered my office. I've done major transformations. Sharon Brown would be very impressed with that too. I'm really impressed with my entire office right now. But I didn't really understand why my picture's there.
Because I couldn't find one that I liked of myself.
But why does it say man? Is it man, woman, it's human?
The principles of feng shui, man, earth and
I love the way the two feng shui experts in the room collaborate. I love the way you two work together. It's so beautiful. So that comes to the end of the formalities of the meeting, but we do finish. We do say we finish at 9:30 because we want to allow time for you to network, and we don't like to go right up until 9:25. So you've got 5 minutes of networking, because I'm always given all kinds of feedback of it's great to have structure, but it's also good to have freestyling networking. But I'm very excited to say we have a venue, oh, thank goodness, for our July party. I can tell you, I have had these incredible opportunities, and as soon as that federal election happened, everything was a house of cards and everything fell over. It was just extraordinary. So I'm not going to tell you the stuff we missed out on, but I really think what we have is really pretty cool. So our July party, so we have 2 parties a year, one in July and one in December, because I think we deserve it. Thank you. So it's in the Swan Valley. It's at a winery. And if you want me to organise a bus, I will. And it's at Edgecombe, I'm not sure if I pronounce it correctly, Winery. And I just have to share the story of how they became our venue partner, because this is the power of face-to-face communication at its best. And this is also why my gorgeous partner cringes whenever we go out and communicate with anyone really face-to-face. So we're in the Swan Valley and we're spending a week out there. And on the Sunday afternoon, we just drive past this winery. It looks very pleasant, and it wasn't a cold day like today. And we just dropped by. It was probably about 4:30. They were closing the kitchen. So most places in Perth just go, we're closed, right? They said, well, we're actually here closing the kitchen, but so we can't do food. And we said, well, we just want a coffee and a glass of wine. And they said, we can do that. We said, great. So they said, you go and, find where you want to sit. So we sat out in the winery in the sun, the little pocket of sun that was still there before the sun set. And they came out with a coffee and with a glass of wine. Then they came back with cheese and with some other nibblies, complimentary. And then they left us to it. And they were obviously clearing up. Then they came back and said, we are actually now closed, but we're having a few drinks, staff. So if you want to use the bathrooms, you need to go around there, but leave everything there when you're done. Just come and let us know so we can come and collect, all the glasses and everything. And I just went, wow, that is hospitality and that is customer service. So the person who came and checked in with us happened in conversation to tell me he was one of the owners of the winery. I just went, aha. So I was on first name basis with Alf, lovely man, and I said, Alf, would you like to give us a tour? Would that, be okay? I'm really interested to see what you do here. He goes, I'd love to. He had his coffee and his cookie and he walked around the entire winery showing us the venue and, the function area and putting his coffee and his cookie down everywhere. He didn't sip it or he didn't eat it at all. But he was so enthusiastic about his business. He just oozed love for this thing and he wanted to know what our experience was like. And so, cut a long story short, I said to him, I need a venue for a party. And he goes, great. So I told him, what I would like. And he goes, I will give you that now in a heartbeat. But I don't make the decisions anymore. And I went, damn, he's handed over to management. So I've spoken to management and they came on board. Yay! So we have a venue partner. And the reason why I was so excited and the reason why I approached them, so, my partner's sitting there, we're leaving, and I say to them, can I just talk to you about this? And this is where he rolls his eyes and goes, oh, no, not again, because I'm doing this all the time. Because I don't always get yeses. I'm only sharing this story because I got a yes. But the reason why I'm so excited about being there is because our keynote speaker is Gary Wilmot. The topic of his talk is how an ancient Greek saved my life. So therefore the party has to have a Greek theme. We're not smashing plates. And it's at a winery. So when you go to this winery, if you just squint your eyes a little bit when we open the doors and you can see out to the winery and have a glass of wine, you can actually pretend you're in Greece. Because there's like bougainvilleas and wineries and everything, and vineyards. You know what I mean. Yes. So anyway, that's what it's going to be. And I want to make it the biggest party we've ever had, really, because I think 2016 in Perth hasn't exactly been what some of us has expected it to be. So that's why we have parties, either to go, yeah, it's been awesome, or yeah, we've survived. So either way, we're having a party. So guests in the room, you're invited as well. And members in the room, your partners, please invite them as well. I'll tell you more detail, but that's what we're doing. And the date has changed. It was the 6th of July, it's now the 13th of July. So please put that in your diaries, members. Dancing is optional. You don't have to. You danced last time. Don't give me that. So yes, there is sometimes dancing. It's absolutely optional, and dressing up is optional as well. And I think that's my last slide. So now we go into open networking. Please make sure you talk to Caroline Shaw, because the majority of you put your hands up in the room that you were going to do events. So she is the expert. If I'm going to go to defer to an expert about running events, it is Caroline Shaw, because I'm looking forward to our coffee on Friday. So that I'm kind of like going, what about this and what about that, and how can I improve this? So please do take advantage of speaking to the expert that she is in the room. And Jaden, you had your hand up. Yes. No, because everyone has a social life and none of you will come, because I've done it before. So I can talk to you more about that personally. Sorry to just shut you down publicly right there. Yes. If you don't know, yes. Yes.
For anyone that has never seen Gary Wilmot, he is absolutely fantastic. He's a brilliant speaker, a lovely, lovely man, and he's got the most amazing story that will connect with everyone. So if you haven't seen him, Fleur runs fantastic events, as you know. Get along, because Gary he's terrific. So just
Thank you. Yes, we all love Gary. Gary's one of us. So anyway, that's enough from me. Thank you so much for being here. If you've got any questions about Out of the Box, please come forward, members as well. And if you've got any questions for Caroline or for Kim, please don't be shy, because they're still in the room. And Keith, over to you, music, and let's network.